Hey everyone, so this is a continuation of my last video where we got up this transition strip, this laminate transition strip. So what I'm trying to do here is I had a refrigerator back here. This is my bar area in the basement. Came down one day, the refrigerator had died, all the ice melted. It was water accumulated all on the floor here, and you can see where some of this laminate floor is buckling up. So what I want to do, but everything over there is fine. So it's really to, maybe like right about there. So I'm gonna go and try to get in here, and it really ends maybe right in here. So these first couple boards are good. I have a bunch of extra just from when I put this floor in, so I figure instead of just replacing the whole thing, might as well just work my way from the end and just try and replace some pieces. And I thought I'd just go through how this is gonna work, and it's tongue and groove. So this first piece is gonna sit up like that, and then you pull it out, but it's also connected tongue and groove on this end. So there's a lip coming out on this top board, and then there's a groove coming over the top there. And to give you a little better view of it, this is what the boards look like in the way they're laid out there. And so you can kind of see that groove there fits into this groove here. And so it essentially just clicks in like that. And then on one end, there's a bottom end just like this. And then on the top end down there of this board, it'll have a part that goes right over it. So it just makes it a little more complicated, but it holds the floor together much better. So I think we're gonna start with I'm gonna start here. And if you got like a putty knife or something like that, this is a real tight transition here, so there's not much room. But just get something like this under there just to be able to get your fingers under it. It's pretty much as simple as lifting up, and again, that's connected right down there. So I'm trying to pull out. Got it out. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. I got that out, and now we're just gonna lift this up. And you can see this is the top groove, and right there is the bottom groove. And this side here has the top groove, there's the bottom groove. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, like this board has been cut, so I need to make sure I put it back in the same spot. So what I'm gonna do is somewhere in my basement where I got a little floor space, I'm gonna start putting these in the order that I take them out so that it's easier when I go to put the ones that I'm not replacing back in, I know where they go. All right, you can see I'm working my way through here, and I had to go a little farther this way than I wanted to just because of the way the boards were, but it was really because I needed to replace this board right here, and to get it that one, I need to get this one, to get it that one, I need to get it there, and so on. So it's been pretty easy. It's just like we said, you're just lifting up to get it disconnected there, and then you're lifting it up this way to get it disconnected on that side. So I'm gonna keep going. You can see I'm just getting into the boards that need to be replaced here. Okay, so you can see I had to go quite a far way back on the boards in order to work my way and get ultimately these boards out right in here. And this is about where I'm gonna stop and then start replacing boards. This is the board that came out of here, and I was able to just slide it out of there with a little bit of force. Basically, I think I'm gonna have to take the quarter round off underneath here because of the interlocking here. So what's gonna have to happen, I might be able to do it, but this is a full-length board and there's just not enough room between here and the wall. Otherwise, I could probably just slide it into this groove, lay it down, and then tap it in and just get this edge to work by either scraping down the male lip here. You can see I could probably just take that off if I was able to do that. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just take that off and make it easy, because then I can take a full-size board without having to cut. And if I take a full-size board, I'll still have the lip here for this remaining piece to be able to click into as well which will keep the floor solid so there won't be any gaps. I was kind of thinking about cutting this one shorter and then having a longer piece here, but it would be like 2 cut ends butted up to each other, so I'd have to glue it. Just seems like a little, not the right way to do it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get my pry bar or hammer and then just sort of slowly pry that off, because I want it to go back in nice and easy when I go to put it back without too many new nails to have to put in. So that just runs down there to the dishwasher. So I'm just gonna slowly pry that off. I'll have to take this one off too. And then this is the old board that came out, like I said. I got a jigsaw. So I'm going to measure. This one was cut really funky. You can see the edge on it. I don't know what they were doing there, but I'll get a nice clean edge. I'll make sure I measure what it should be. We'll get that cut, and then hopefully this will go a little smoother. So just to give you a little idea how I do this, I always start with like a putty knife just to loosen it up, get the nails out. It's just brad nails that are in there. And then I'll grab my crowbar and just slowly pull it out and try to keep everything nails straight so it's easy to go back in once the flooring's in. This one I'm still trying to figure out how I get back there. I'll probably have to just go underneath and push up a little bit to try to get it to back off a little bit, but it's on there pretty good. So I'm gonna take a look at that in a minute. All right, so this is just so you can see how I'm getting this quarter round off. I got this, again, this tile removal tool has been really helpful, but really anything like this. I put the pry bar underneath just to keep it from kind of bending over, and then I'm just working my way down, and I find the spots where the nails are and they pop right out. Not too complicated. And then when I put it back in, I've got a brad nailer that hooks up to my compressor. I'll probably just pop a few more nails in just to make sure it's secure. All right, so the lighting's not great in here. I apologize. It's probably really hard to see, but I did draw some, yeah, there's real light pencil marks here that I used the old one, and then I also did my own measurements. And so what I'm gonna use is, this is the part that's coming out, so I'm just gonna cut down, and then I'll probably just do another cut that way. I've got my jigsaw here, so I'm just gonna plug that in, and I'm not gonna show the cutting. It's pretty easy, just gotta follow the line. The laminate cuts real easy, so I'm gonna do that, and then we'll start working on getting this in place. All right, this is about the best I can do with the camera work here, but now that it's cut, actually cut it perfect. So all I'm gonna do is, I didn't even take the quarter round off all the way. I just kind of took it off and then pried it up just a little bit. I'm gonna lift this. Let's see if I can move the camera as you can see. Got this up into the groove. You can kind of see the groove there. Laid it down so it's in the whole way. And then we're just going to slide this to the end. And what I did is there was a little bit of a, right at the seam here, there was a little bit of a gap. And so then what I did is I just real lightly gave this a nice little, you know, without breaking the edge, because there's a female side there. So I just kind of, and you can use a scrap piece of board to tap onto it. You know, just be real careful. But now that seems perfect. This is good enough. I mean, again, this is my bar too, so I'm just trying to replace some boards. Looks like it works perfect. So I'm gonna keep going, see if I can get that quarter round line back up, if it'll go back in the holes, and then I'll have to put 1 or 2 nails that are new in. All right, I'm going a little quicker here now. So I got this one in, like you saw, and it's pretty good. And then there's this little piece here, the one that was from before, we had a little water damage, so I just cut a different one. And this is the cut end, right? You want that going up against here. It's really snug. I probably could have cut it less, but I did want it to tuck underneath here, because when I put quarter round, it's only gonna go to there. And so what I did is I got that other piece here, so I plugged it in like this to get it locked on this side, because at first I was able to lock it on the back side, but then I didn't have any leverage to tap it this way to get it that way. So I went in this way, slid it in, and there was a little gap there, and I just used actually this board, hooked it onto here, see if I can do it now, and then just gave it a little tap with the mallet. and it fit right in there nice and snug enough for me at least. So that is that, and now we're gonna keep going. All right, just to give you guys another look here. So I'm gonna be putting this board in. This is the next board. I replaced this board. This is a new board. And all I'm gonna do is get it on this lip. Better can't work so you can kind of see. Just kind of get it in there until it seats. All right, so that's good. You can see it's nice and tight. And then I'm gonna try and, while it's up, get it so those two boards are parallel and the quarter round will cover it. It looks pretty good. And then it's just let it fold down. And then I'm gonna do this one here. So we will get to that. All right, so now this one, since there's nothing to click in on that side, I'm just gonna click it in here. And I got my water line and another HDMI line running there. So I just kind of get it on there. Now it's flush. And now I'm gonna lift it up a little bit and just slide it up against, you know, 1/4 inch or so from the wall. So it's at least, these two are flush. Looks pretty good. And then it's probably a little tighter than it should be against the wall, but I'm okay with that. It's got a little room on the other side. And then, just to make sure these two are perfectly, I will take this and give this a little, sorry for the camera work here, I got a little mini tripod. I'll just give that a little tap to make sure they're even. That looks pretty good. This is where the fridge is going to go anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. All right, so it's, you know, the complication still continues here. This is a new board. I just set that one in, so I have that, I can move it whichever way I want. But then I was looking at the next piece, which is this one with kind of cuts around the bar. You can see there's a little room there for it to fit snug right underneath. There's no quarter round around the bar. So it just goes snug in there. Just trying to think about this before I got going. I'm gonna cut this piece, and I think what we're gonna have to do is cut a new piece. I'm gonna have to click these two together on this edge here, move both of them up so that first board needs to get up flush with the other one. And then I think I'm probably gonna need to slide that one while it's connected down the line. Might have to use something like this to click into the end. Let's see which way it would go. I guess this way. To click into the end and just tap it slowly along while trying to make sure that that piece starts off and gets underneath. I don't see another way to do it, just because you can't lift this up and still, you know, work it around the bar there. So I think the flooring here must have gone in before the trim around the bar went on. So I'm gonna have to try to figure that out. That's gonna be my plan of attack though. First thing first, I'm gonna cut this board. And just to be clear, the only reason I'm cutting this board is because this one's got some water damage on it, so I wanted a new one. Along with that's a new board, that's, you know, and so on. This was the area where most of the water was. Okay, so I got my new piece cut. I clicked it in here, and in order to slide, it doesn't slide when it's flat, it kind of locks it in. So in order to slide, you have to be able to lift up just a little bit here. So what I did to get it under the bar was just hold down right as it got to the bottom of the bar, and then I lifted up here and I just started sliding. Now the rest of the way, I think I'm gonna have to use the mallet to just tap it, and then I'm gonna have to see what happens when we get down there to make sure that we're hooking into that next one okay. But I'm gonna give it a try, and hopefully I don't have to take that one out, just more work. So just so you can get a better sense of how I'm doing this right now, I'm not using the mallet, I'm just lifting up down here, you know, on this edge here, just to get it up a little bit, and then I am just kind of sliding it in there. It's actually going a little easier than I thought. I thought I was going to have to tap it the whole way. But I'm going to just keep doing this and wiggling it down, and then we are going to see what happens once we get to that lip right there. I'll have to probably lift up that plank right there to make sure it'll connect to this one okay. So I think this is going to work. As soon as I got to here, there's a little bit of play here, so I can go in or out just a little bit. So as I got to it, I was just holding this to make sure that that groove got into this channel. now I'm just gonna keep tapping it away, and we'll have to just see what we do down there, but I think I'll be able to tap it tight, you know, especially for where it's at, so close to the bar. Even if there's just a tiny gap, it's not a big deal to me, but I'm hoping that I can just tap it in there nice and tight. So the last part of this is I put on my spare board right here, just a piece of scrap that I wasn't using, and it's up just a little bit, enough for me to just keep tapping this real slowly to close that gap. Now, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this as it gets closer, so I'll probably have to put the camera down and hold that with my other hand, but that's the concept. I just wanna make sure this clears and gets under there, and then it's just keep tapping and get it all the way seated underneath there, and then we'll see how much of a gap, if any, is down there. All right, so I just got done tapping that all the way up. Just kind of held my finger on there just to make sure it got underneath, and then it was snug, but it went underneath. And then you can see the edge down here seated really well without having to take this out, so that's really good. And the seam looks perfect, so I don't even have to try and lift this up and try and make it a little better. It's setting pretty good, so that was probably the toughest part, so I'm just gonna keep going. So just one more thing to keep in mind. It was a challenge getting the last couple boards after I got that cut board in, because as an example, I just set down this board, and there's one more there by the wall. So I don't have them clicked in yet. You have to click in the end first. So I clicked in this end, and then added another board, clicked it into that end, and then you take more or less the whole row and lift up and slide it into the groove. So you can put like a box or something heavy down there to hold those down and make sure they don't come loose. But you basically I'll start here, lift up, push it in a little, and just try to work that down to get that into, to get rid of this gap, because it's not in right now. All that's in is the end there and the end here. So that's something I've learned as I've been doing this. Again, I'm not an expert or anything, so I'm just kind of doing this from a first time by myself. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, so I think I'm about done. I just got to get the transition strip in, which is easy. You just push it right down into that channel. I would say, this was more work than I thought it was going to be. The type of laminate flooring that I used was this. It's a Shaw laminate flooring. I think they call it angle because it's got the click in on the long end and the short end. But I think from now on, if I ever get any more water damage, I'm just ripping this up and putting some vinyl plank in or something like that. Probably not a bad idea to have a professional do this. I was able to figure it out. If you've got the patience and the dedication, it's definitely doable. I was able to get it done. Going around the bar was tough. I think the big lesson learned is it's pretty simple on these long runs, because you can just start on the left side, click all of your row in without going into the next row, and then you come back and you start lifting up and clicking in, and you just sort of work your way down, and that worked pretty easily. On these shorter runs, it was definitely tougher, especially when you're going underneath something like the bar here, where you can't really lift up much. Probably would have been better to have a longer strip there. That would have helped. I had a lot of trouble with this next piece after it, but like I said, we figured it out, got it done. I'm gonna work on getting the transition strip in, and then I'm gonna add in cord around there, and I'm just gonna put it around while there's no fridge here. I think eventually I'm gonna put some cabinets around the fridge and all that too, but for right now, I'll just put some cord around down to finish it, and it'll look nice for now. And I'm really hoping there's no more broken fridges or kids leaving water all over the floor and having them curl up. Anyways, I hope this helped. Again, I'm not a professional. I just try to do my best and show you what I did, and at least you know what you're getting yourself into. Thanks for watching.